not finishing because the other building that they already finished in that complex, they can't get anybody to move in to rent it for these 3,000, 3,200 bucks a month
Yeah,
for
no, because they
a
got to cover
one.
their mortgages, right? So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Canadians bought into this housing market, competing with Chinese money laundering, thinking that they're going to make a big mint, and the renter's going to pay my mortgage, and I'm just going to get away scot free. No, they're not. Now, how many for rents and empty buildings are you seeing in Vancouver?
Oh, they're putting up signs in front of the property again. It's it used to be no students are showing up in September.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a couple years since COVID, and I don't know, 400. They're saying, yeah, it's how student enrollment is down by like
Now they're
half
going
a
to blame
million.
that, but I'm talking about the actual people that work in the city and actually fund the infrastructure and pay taxes. It's empty everywhere. Is it the skyscraper dark ages like we've been saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say, you know what? Put me on record. I'm saying the population, the people who actually sleep at night in Vancouver, it's more like 400,000.
Yep,
They
that's
don't
what
have no
something I was
eight.
I was estimating that years ago, Glenn, because
Yeah,
everybody has to come into the city because they can't afford to live in the city. They come into the city to work.
yeah. And then at the night, Kitsilano out by UBC, it's dead there. At night, there's nobody around.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, what happened? You go into the stores like, 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock, and it's like, and a whole bunch of the little corner stores, they're all shutting down
Mhm.
because in that neighborhood, 20, 25, 30% of the houses are empty. So they don't have three, four, five people in them. There's not enough people who come by and buy lotto tickets and smokes and kids to buy pop and candy.
Mhm.
The corner stores. And then some developer takes out the corner lot, buys the next two houses on,
Mhm.
puts up a fence. It's empty, it's dormant. They don't pay tax. When they have their development proposal in, it's stagnant. They're not paying property tax. So everybody else on that block has to make up for those three houses out of 12, three, four houses
So they
out
got to
of
crank
eight or
up the
10.
taxes. They got to crank them up to keep up with because the city is going broke, right? So if the city goes
Yeah,
broke, and a majority of those Chinese owners that are laundering this money through Vancouver, Burnaby, Sur, whatever, they don't want to pay tax. So it's
no,
it's hurting the city. So they're going to have to raise taxes for the people that do pay taxes, right? So
yeah,
so this is a big problem. It's empty shell. All the Canadian cities have become this, and I've been prophesizing for so many years. Skyscraper dark ages ahead. It's coming to a city near you because affordability is not going to be there. You won't be able to afford to live and function in a major city in Canada. And I was saying it by 2020. I was giving it to 2020. And then, boom, they pulled the trigger on a pandemic, shut everything down, locked everything down for 2 years, and then, boom, we're back. And now they're raising interest rates to hedge against inflation, and we're back at the game again. And bond markets are going up. We're in a lot of trouble, Glenn. Glenn, we are in
yeah,
trouble. Canada as a whole is in a lot. Now, because the price of food and fuel is starting to catch up to the price of real estate, guess what? People can't afford to eat now. And I predicted that
yeah.
10, 15 years ago, and here we are now. And the videos are up if people want to watch them.
Nice. Yeah, I'm seeing it right in front of me. So many people, they were like, yay, I'm going to get all this rent, $1,000 a night. There's all these rentals posted. They're down to 750 for a room.
Mm-hmm.
It's whether it's a night or a month. I've seen the price decrease already 20, 25, 30% in the last 3 months since just over this springtime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding off for the end of summer. I'm waiting until this FIFA thing blows over and everybody goes, "Oh my God, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't make any money. This is actually we're way down. It's down below a normal summer."
Mm-hmm. 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 Big time. Empty shell. Cities are turning into empty shells. And tent cities. What about tent cities in Vancouver? I know they're popping up everywhere over SkyTrain overpasses. All kinds of places there are tent cities popping up. Are they moving them along for FIFA, or are they staying in town? Have you noticed?
This is what I've seen. See, because I use a very guerrilla covert. You know what I mean? I move places every few days. I don't stay in any place for any longer than a week or two or something like that. But I know good spots all over the place. But see, I don't associate with the people who do drugs. So there's some sort of intel that I've been talking to people that I can, but I just run into them as like a one-off, and they're kind of like, yeah, I stick to myself. Yeah, I avoid other people who they're involved in the liquor or in the drugs. But I've seen right by the SkyTrain line, right by the one by Renfrew or something. I saw a bunch of tents there, and I was like, oh, geez, maybe on my way I could go. And I've seen places where people have been camped out at, and then I don't go there in a few days to see if I could get an interview or talk to somebody and be like, hey, what's going on? You had trouble, and they're gone. It seems like as though the people are getting harassed by the bylaw or by the police, but it's just like as a one-off, as a pick on this person, and they just move.
The sad part about this, Glenn, is they're picking on people that can't afford to live in the real estate there, because a $70,000 one-bedroom condo isn't supposed to cost $800,000, right?
I know.
$130,000 three-bedroom condo is not supposed to cost $1.2 million. That's the problem Canada has, and that's what we've been trying to tell people. And now, what about needles? I know all the beaches last week they were having issues along the beaches there, in Vancouver, with a ton of trash and needles everywhere. I saw it on the. Was it Global News? I think it was covering just an incredible. They got the little tree trunks on the beach, right? But you got to be careful, because someone stepped on a needle, and there was a needle in the sand, and it's disastrous.
It's disgusting. They give them out. It's easy come, easy go.
They give out the needles, so they have needles now, right? So they could use them, but then they don't dispose of them correctly. So they're all over the beaches down there, apparently. Stanley Park, everywhere.
Oh, I can see that around downtown. I've been avoiding downtown as much as I possibly can. And if I do go there, I only go there in like the daytime, middle of the day. So I can, it's like these places you gotta see. The thing is I go for places that is like far out of the way on the bike path, and then a dog path, or then I just walk off into the bush and I find myself a good spot or two. But, the people on drugs, they just will camp out in, the place that's close to stores or the drug dealer. So they're the ones that heat themselves out. And, 4 or 5 days later, they've got the neighbors calling in. Not even, 1-2 days later, the neighbors are calling in. The cops are moving them along. They leave a mess. I know, because I found good spots that somebody's been used. And so you look at the evidence, you clean up the broken meth pipes or the broken, the garbage and stuff. And, you leave the spot cleaner than when you got there. But it's like, this evidence is from at least last year. I haven't seen place, but, I'd say there's even less homeless people in Vancouver than before 2016, 17, 18, for sure. I'd say there's half as many people. There's people out here.
Again, Skyscraper Dark Ages. It's empty.
Yeah.
It's going to be empty. Canadian cities are turning into empty shells. And we prophesized this years ago. Oh, Canada's too powerful. This, that. We're major exports to America. Now Canada is fighting with America purposefully to destroy us even further. And our government hasn't done a damn thing. And it's going to get worse.
They made it
here
worse. Carney's in Trump's back pocket or something. He's a double agent. He's working for MI6 and the Brits that want to, whether it's the Yankees or the Brits that are going to come up and buy stuff for pennies on the dollar. It's going to be somebody who's foreign controlled, whether it's the Chinese, the Brits, or the Yankees. You just line them up. Okay, here you go. Buy this for pennies on the dollar.
Canada. The Chinese have trillions and trillions and trillions in Canada. And once that farmland starts to become a problem, once America starts looking at the amount of farmland that the Chinese communists own in Canada, we're going to be in trouble, Glenn. Watch when that happens. Yeah. Everything I've been saying has been happening, right? Well, watch when they look into the farmland. And then you're going to see it on the newsline or a headline or something, or someone's going to say it and say, Mike Martins told me this. It's going to come, just like I'm saying.